dolls, Miss Beat Basics here. I want to welcome you back to my channel. If it's your first time tuning in with the fam, I hope you hit that subscribe button on the way out so you can keep up with all my awesome videos that I have every Friday, okay? And if you're one of my loyal followers from the beginning, as always, thank you so much for coming back. Big kisses. Okay, so today we are going to be getting into it with your girl. I have been hearing so much controversial issues about this palette that I'm about to talk to you about. Everybody and their mama has been saying one thing or the other about it. Mostly I've been hearing negative reviews, and I think a lot of people are not happy with the fact that Huda Beauty is the palette I'm going to be talking about today. I love the packaging, the sleeve on this. I do love the shadows that come in here. Of course, you've probably seen these swatched all over the media, all over social media. Everybody has been talking about this top row here. The foiled shadows are absolutely gorgeous. When I first got it, I jumped right into the top row here and I started swatching away on my Snapchat. If you follow me on there, you probably saw me just touching on a few of the swatches of this palette, just giving you a little rundown of what I think just briefly. So now I'm just going to give you a full review on what I think about all the mattes, all the shimmers, and all the foil shadows, because honestly, when you first look at this palette, it is so easy to fall in love, but I do understand some of the frustration behind some of the colors. So without further ado, let's get into the palette swatches and talking about what I think about the colors, okay? So first impressions of the palette when I first got it in my hands was, yes, I did love the sleeve that it comes with, the standard eye, the Huda Beauty eyes. I love that rose gold stripe going across the middle here. I like the fact that it tells you the types of eyeshadows that you're getting in here, the 3 different types of eyeshadows. You got your ingredients across the back as well, of course. And just to let you know, it has a shelf life of 12 months once you pop it open, okay? Now, one thing that I also did like about the package as well is that the fact that it had a nice see-through top. I really do love this, so you can see what's going on in there. I like that it has the little side, the name across the side as well, so that when you're storing it, you don't have to have it open. You can actually put it in a nice little storage place and actually see what's going on there. So I do like that they made it convenient for storage in your vanity or shelf space or whatever. What I don't like is this standard cardboard packaging that they put this in. I'm not happy with that. I would think that for the price that they were charging for this palette, that they would have came out with something a little more luxurious, a little more classy, you know what I mean, instead of this standard hard cardboard. It's just not, I'm not a big fan of it. Hopefully their next palette will be a little more glammed up, a little more oomphed up, I hope so. But we're not really here for the packaging, even though I'm a sucker for packaging. We're here for the eyeshadows, okay? Now, I want to tell you right off the hop, today was my first time actually using these shadows, so I'm testing the wearing time and all this while I'm sitting here under these lights and everything to see how long they last and how they work for me after hours after wear. But I do have to say to you, working with this was a joy. I'm not gonna lie. The matte eyeshadows in this bad boy blend like a dream. They show up on my chocolate skin tone with no issues. You do not have to go out of your way to get the colors to show up. You don't have to go out of your way to get the colors to blend together. Very minimal effort. So I will say that they got it right with the matte eyeshadows. Very happy with them. The foils were a little bit harder to work with, but the payoff that you get once you get them laid down the way you want is just supreme. There's nothing else that I can say about them. It's just so worth the trouble to get the end result. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that with some swatches and basically tell you what I think about them as I'm swatching them, okay? So let's get into it. So here we go. We're going to start off with the swatches now and a little bit of the chit-chat to tell you what I think. So I'm going to be doing it a bit backwards. I'm going to be going from the bottom row, from my right, your left, across, then the middle row, then your top row, okay? Because I want to save the gorgeousness for last. So the first color I'm going to be showing you here is called Black Truffle. Then you have Suede, Cocoa, Man-Eater, Henna, and Sandalwood. Alright, so let's get into those swatches. So the first color I'm going to be showing you is Black Truffle. It's a really great matte black. It is actually a really true matte color. When I dipped into the pan, I found that it was really buttery soft. I did love that. And it shows extremely black, so I love that. Second color down is Suede. This is your taupey kind of purpley color. I really do love this kind of color against my skin tone. Beautiful, really smooth and buttery in the pen. Loved it. There's your brush stroke and your finger swipe and your brush stroke next to it. Your third color down is called Cocoa. This is a beautiful reddish brown color, beautiful against my skin tone. I absolutely love how it swatches. Is your finger swipe and your brush swatch next to it. One thing I didn't like about Cocoa though is that it had a very fine grit to it. It didn't transfer onto the lid once you're using the color, but you do feel that fine grit on your hand when you do a finger swipe. So I wasn't happy about that. Another color down here is Man Eater. It's a beautiful matte red color. I absolutely love how intense the red in this color is and how it plays off on my skin tone. It's just perfect. Sorry about the brush stroke. Another color got muddled in there and kind of made it look a little muddier than I wanted it to. But this top finger swipe is exactly how the color is and how it plays off on the skin. It's beautiful. This color, another one, unfortunately, that had a grit to it, which is a lot much coarser grit than what was in Cocoa. The Man Eater had a very coarse grit to it, which I didn't like. I actually did use this color today in the look that I came up with, but when I did use the colors against my eyes, I didn't feel that grit, so that's a good thing that it doesn't transfer, but I didn't like that initially it felt really gritty in the pan, so that was a little bit of a letdown for me, but it's still a beautiful color. Then you have your fifth color down here, which is called Henna, a beautiful crease color. This burnt orangey sienna kind of color, just gorgeous. You have your finger swipe here and your brush stroke right next to it. I can't talk today. But yeah, really beautiful really beautiful crease color, just beautiful for warming up the lids, just gorgeous. And your last color in the pan, your last color in that row, which is called Sandalwood. This is a beautiful light brown tan kind of color. Really beautiful for like buffing out the edges of any kind of look that you're doing. You want to kill any harsh lines. This is going to be gorgeous to do that, especially on our gorgeous, beautiful chocolate skin tone, okay? So there is the last row in the palette, all the mattes. These are just beautiful colors. I really do love how they work. Last row in all the mattes. Like I said, the fine grit that shows up in Man Eater and in Cocoa is a little disappointing, but it doesn't transfer onto the lid once you start buffing and you're going in with your brushes. I actually didn't feel that grit on my lid, which is kind of surprising because I thought it would, but it didn't transfer, so that was really great. So that last row there, awesome. Okay, so for your second row, the first color there is called #blessed. Now, for the foiled colors, I'm just letting you know I'm going to be swatching them only with my finger because when I put it on my lid for a look, when I choose to use it, I will be using my fingers. So I won't be attempting to even use brushes because they don't pick up well on a brush at all. And I will show you that once I show you the foiled shadows, okay? So that is #blessed, this beautiful bronzy gold color, beautiful. Then down from there you have Bossy. Now this is a beautiful burgundy color, really great against the skin tone. Lays down beautifully, buffs out beautifully, blends beautifully with other colors. Don't like the fact that it has a very, very fine grit to it, so you do feel that a little bit once you rub your finger in there. That's when you feel it. I didn't feel it transfer onto the lid or anything like that, so that's great, but it's an awesome color and it does work well. Just don't like that fine grit. Then your third color down is Flamingo, which in my opinion, there's your brush stroke and your finger swipe right next to it. That pink color is the worst color in the entire palette. I think it is hideous color-wise, and the grit that is in Flamingo is just ridiculous. It's almost like putting your fingers into a sand trap. You can actually feel grains of sand or whatever the material is that's in there that's making it as gritty and coarse as it is. It's an awful shadow. I wouldn't even attempt to use it on my eyelid in fear that it might blind me. So yeah, that's a color I will never use. Okay, Flamingo. Then you have your fourth color down here, which is called Shy. This is a beautiful dusty rose color. I absolutely love this. Beautiful just to, wear on the brow bone or in the corner to brighten up a look or anything like that. A really beautiful pinky color. Then your fifth color down here is Bay. This is your standard off-white color, great for your brow bone, inner corner, like I said, for Shy. Both beautiful color, beautiful pale matte colors, and they're both really buttery soft in the pan, just to let you know, okay? And your last color here, which is Moon Dust. Now this is a shimmer color. It is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this pale gold color. There's your brush stroke. and your finger swipe right next to it. This color, I almost am tempted to use it as a little bit of a topper when I'm mixing my highlighters, because you guys know how I like to do. I like to mix my highlighters. I am almost tempted to put that on the high point of my cheekbone to make my cheekbone pop when I'm doing my highlighter. It's such a gorgeous gold color. So yeah, there is your second row. The only miss for me is that hideous flamingo color. Other than that, all the colors are amazing. Alright, dolls, let's get into that last row. So now for the last row in the palette, I mean, would you just look at how foily and shiny and just reflecty these colors are? They're just everything, are they not? Oh, I could just die. So first up, you're going to be looking at is Dubai. This is this gorgeous kind of olivey green brown color. I just absolutely love it. It's just beautiful. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just gorgeous. Like I said, I'm only going to be showing these particular foil shadows with my finger, because when I do apply them, as I did today, I used my finger and I found that the color payoff was phenomenal. So you actually do get this color payoff when you use your fingers to apply them onto your eyeshadow, just so you know, okay? So like I said, first color is Dubai, that gorgeous green, brown, olivey color, beautiful. Second color in is Fling. This is a gorgeous cranberry red, really ruby red kind of color. I just love it. Beautiful. Third color down is 24K, and does this not look like 24K to you? The shine is just stupid. I mean, it's just amazing. Love it. Then your fourth color in is Rose Gold, and this is one of the truest rose gold I have ever seen in an eyeshadow. This is just so intensified, and I was so tempted to use it today, but following Jackie's tutorial, she didn't use it, so I stuck true and stayed with the colors that she used. But this Rose Gold is just beautiful. It's phenomenal. I love it. And your fifth color in is Trust Fund, which is a color I did use today, and this beautiful color just blew me away. Once I started laying it down on the lid, it just really lived up to the foil name in all of these shadows. It just lays down beautifully. It looks like a sheet of foil across your lid. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is like a beautiful kind of, I would call this an orangey copper color. Very, very pretty. Very pretty. And your last color in the whole palette is Angelic. And this is, I don't know if you can see it there or make it out, that it's actually a duochrome. It reflects pink and like a peachy gold color, which is just gorgeous. I'm really hoping that that color is picking up on camera, because it's a gorgeous duochrome color. One of the only colors in the one of the only colors in the whole palette that is a duochrome is Angelic. It's really, really beautiful. And as I said to you, I'm going to give you the tea on the foils. They show up much better with a finger. Jackie Aina did show a little bit of a brush trick to use to get these colors to pick up somewhat more densely on your brush. The brush is dirty, but I just want to show you. It's like a little concealer brush, you know, stiff bristles, nice and compact at the top there. This is your best brush. If you absolutely have to use a brush on these shadows, this is the brush to go with, because as I told you, Jackie Aina, she was doing a tutorial on this, and she showed a little bit of a trick to help pick up these eyeshadows on a brush to help kind of intensify what you've already put down with your fingertip. So what she basically did was she used this style of brush, and she just kind of slightly dug into the product a little bit. Okay, and what happens is it actually does, let me just do that so I can show you. Okay, it actually does pick up just very little. Okay, and the way it spreads almost like, it looks almost like a cream, I swear to God. But if I can show you there's what you're going to get when you put it on your brush, and you kind of get it. This is the kind of intensity that you can get. For some people, that might be a bit of a deal breaker, you know, having to use your fingers to get any kind of color payoff. But I am one of those people that do not like to use my fingers to put on my makeup by any means, as I told you. But when you get color payoff like you do with these ones, yeah, I'm willing to make that exception. So I didn't have any problem with that. So that brings me to the end of my review. I'm giving you the tea on the Huda Beauty palette. Is it something that I think you have to run out and get? Absolutely not. The price tag will definitely determine that. The shadow qualities are really great. I do love them. I personally think it's a little overpriced considering the packaging that you get. You guys know I'm not a fan, but the quality of the shadows are really good. So I mean, if you know you want to go out, you want to treat yourself, you want to try something a little bit different, I would go and I would get something like this. I really did enjoy using these different types of shadows here. It was a little bit difficult to get them to work for me, but once they did, I was blown away at how they looked on my lid. So that was a big, huge factor for me that gave them a little extra star from my book. So that's what I think about the palette in a whole. Other than the few colors that are in here that are a bit gritty, like I said, Man-Eater, Cocoa, what's the other one that I said? Man-Eater, Cocoa, Bossy. You know, those ones have that little fine grit in it. It actually wasn't a deal breaker for me. I actually didn't mind it. It didn't transfer, so I didn't mind it at all. This color Flamingo, which I told you I think is absolutely hideous. I would never use it anyway, so the fact that it's like a sand trap doesn't make or break it for me because I wasn't going to use it anyhow. But yeah, I did like the palette. I know it's been getting a lot of flack because of the way the shadows are, but the fact that they tell you on here to use your fingers to get a color payoff kind of X that out for me. So I didn't mind doing that. I do love the shadows. I do love the way they marry on the lid. I love the fact that it's woman of color friendly. Only thing I wish is that the packaging was a little more glammed up for the price. Other than that, I am a fan of the palette. I can't lie. So I'm not going to be one of those people jumping on the train saying I hate it. I actually do love it after playing with it. Alright, dolls, so that brings me to the end of my review. I'm giving you the tea. I hope that you enjoyed this palette. If you are looking to go out and splurge on yourself and you wanted to try it out, you know, go ahead. Give it a try, see what you think, and let me know what your experience was with it, because it might be different from what I had, okay? So, until next time, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out. And if you did like the video, remember to give it a thumbs up, okay? Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful. We'll see you next time, gorgeous. Bye.